So don't sit up here and act like I'm not putting y'all up on game.
Boom, 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 boom.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Beth, aka Kristen, your favorite nurse bae. If you're new to my channel, just so you know, I have been a registered nurse in the state of Florida for 3 years. I was an LPN 5 years before that, a CNA for 5 years before that. So I've been in this healthcare game for a long time. And on my channel, we talk about all things nursing. I give y'all the tea on how to make this money. And that's what this video is about today. Let me tell y'all, let you in on a little secret. Doing this has changed my entire life. It has improved my work-life balance like drastically. Doing this has changed my life for the better. I work when I want, if I want, how much I want, and if I don't. And that's going PRN.
Y'all better come up here and get one of these.
What's that?
It's a chicken salad.
So take my advice. When I say go PRN, sweetheart, get you a PRN job. They offer PRN jobs that's considered as needed. They offer them at almost every single kind of job you can have in the healthcare field. I know someone who is PRN at a surgical center. You can be PRN at hospitals. You can be PRN at nursing facilities. Also, go to be an agency nurse. Agency nursing is where you pick up shifts through an agency and they're contracted with facilities that need help. So when the facility is short-staffed, they will receive a nurse, CNA, LPN from an agency to come fill that void in for just that shift. Now, the reason why I said doing this has changed my life drastically, you make way more money than you do as a full-time staff nurse. The reason why is because you won't be getting benefits. When I tell you, if you are at a job for benefits, go PRN today. After you watch this video, go PRN. Especially if you're watching this video as soon as I drop it, because it is open enrollment. Open enrollment, thank you to President Barack Obama, because he came up with the Affordable Health Care Act. So this can work two ways for you. You can go to open enrollment and get your own private insurance so that it does not matter where you work, you and your family, if you have a family, will be insured, because that's what they dangle over everyone's head is health insurance. You can get health insurance through the Affordable Health Care Act, okay? Affordablehealthcare.gov. And I have been putting nurses on left and right. Now, don't come to me asking me anything else about it, because you got to do your own research and pick the right plan that's best for you, boo. But when I tell you, my kids still go to the same pediatrician they went to through my job. I still go to my same primary care physician through my job. The only thing I had to change was my obstetrician, which was a small thing because I ain't having no more kids. So just give me my birth control and send me on my way. But that's off the topic. Anyways, so get the Affordable Health Care Act. But thanks to President Barack Obama, he also put in that every employer has to offer anyone who works over 1,560 hours a year or 1,580 hours a year. It's like 1,500 something. And when you calculate that up, that's about an average of working 2 to 3 shifts a week. So if you get with your job that you're working at now and you go PRN, but you still work your full-time hours, you're getting paid higher, and that job still has to offer you medical benefits. The only way you keep your medical benefits is if you continue to work at those hours. But if you don't want to lock yourself into that requirement to having to work at that job for those hours to get health insurance through them, get your Affordable Health Care Act. So don't sit up here and act like I'm not putting y'all up on game. I'm putting you up on game, because most PRN jobs for registered nurses, because that's all I can speak on right now in 2022, because that's what I am. Was I a CNA? Yes. Was I LPN? Yes. Do I root for all of us? Yes. But I can't give you real numbers for those positions because I'm not working in them. I am a registered nurse. So on average, most RNs working PRN are making anywhere between $50 or more an hour. Do you know that if you work $50 an hour full-time, anywhere from 36 to 40 hours a week, you will almost be making six figures? And you could easily, when I tell you easily, make those six figures by picking up a couple of overtime shifts. And when I say a couple, I mean 10 throughout the year, which is less than one overtime shift for a month, that you can make your six figures. Like, this is a game changer. Do you know how much you will have to work as a staff nurse to make six figures? Like, so with agency nursing, I have already made a video about agency nursing where you pick up shifts through the agency. I already talked about it. But let me tell y'all some pros and cons to this. Going PRN and going agency. Most times, you will be the first nurse to be canceled if it's a low census. Now, I don't know where y'all live at, but in the state of Florida, we have rarely ever been out of season, especially post-COVID. A lot of people have moved to Florida and they're not leaving. And a lot of our population is older people who are sick, and they're getting sicker, especially with all of the different type of respiratory viruses that are on the rise post-COVID from people quarantining and being inside and wearing masks, but people don't want to wear masks anymore in Florida. So all these respiratory things are coming back. So the census has not been that low. I have probably been canceled twice since I've been PRN. And it didn't matter to me because they canceled me this day and I just pick up a shift the next day, because you can't be low census every single day. Now, can you? No. So play with somebody else, because one thing I'm about my claims. So make sure that while you are raking in this money and getting those big paychecks, that you tucking and saving your money, because there may come a time when the census is low and they don't have any work for you. Luckily, I have not ran into that. And I have been in nursing a long time to know that you can really do this full time as an agency or PRN nurse through a hospital system. You can very much do it because someone's always quitting, someone's always calling off, someone is always getting promoted. So it's too much turnover in healthcare for it not to be okay, for you to not be okay. One thing I will say is to be with multiple agencies, because each of these agencies are contracted to certain facilities. So if this agency is slow, this other agency got contracts and their facilities might be jumping. So you gotta make sure that you keep your face clean with these companies. Work your bare minimum. Like, I know some people want you to work 2 or 3 shifts a month to stay current with them. Make sure you keep your education. Make sure you keep your CPR card up to date. Book with me to get your CPR classes if you need to get renewed. But make sure you keep all of your education current, okay? Next, be strong in your skills. If you are not a confident nurse, please stay full-time, because you need that support. Because when you become the PRN nurse, the agency nurse, those other nurses know that you're making a lot of money. And those other nurses is hating ass bitch. So they will give you the worst assignment, the heaviest patients. They won't help. If you are scared to speak up for yourself, or if you are scared of confrontation, you cannot be a float nurse, a PRN nurse, an agency nurse, because there is going to come a time where you are going to have to advocate for yourself. You already have to do that as a staff nurse. So get comfortable and rest in that. No, you don't have to be no bully. Don't be no bully, because then they're really not going to like you and they're going to DNR you. But please, please, please know when to speak up for yourself. Be strong in putting in your IVs, because don't nobody want the nurse that they gotta hold their hand through the whole shift. So you gotta be on your stuff, okay? Okay. So those were the only things that I feel like you need to know. Save your money and be a strong nurse. If you can do those two and be flexible, obviously don't get into this thinking that you're gonna just not be flexible, because your whole job is to fill a need and then move on. So you will have to be very flexible. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. All my nurses out there with any other tips or anything y'all feel like the other nurses need to know, drop a comment down in the comment section. Let me know how you enjoyed this video. If you are out here trying to find your way, you need some encouragement, you need a mentor, please hit me up. I do offer mentoring services. The link will be down in the description box. I hope to see y'all in my next video.